Your CSM is about to walk you through a renewal deck with the word Agentic on it. Before you sign anything, open the workflow builder. Look at what's actually running. Because EY priced the same customer service interaction 2 ways. In 2023 it cost 4 cents as a simple chat. Now, orchestrated as an agent with tools and retries, it's about $1.20. 30 times the cost. For the same job. Here's the problem. Platform buying conversations happen at the feature level. AI-powered scoring. Agentic refund handling. Intelligent routing. But the actual mechanism, the thing that determines cost and risk, sits one level below where nobody's looking. There are 4 of these mechanisms, and they are not interchangeable, even though vendors sell them like they are. Rule-based costs almost nothing. Agentic can run 30 times more per task, according to Gartner's own estimate of 5 to 30 times the tokens of a standard chatbot call. If you can't name which of the 4 your renewal is actually charging you for, you're not evaluating a feature. You're accepting a mystery. Let's use the article's own example, a customer refund. Same job, 4 ways to solve it. Rule-based, if the request is under $50 and within 30 days, approve it automatically. Free to run. It fails the second a request doesn't fit the table, but it fails in the open. You see it immediately. Predictive, a model scores the request as approve, deny, or escalate based on historical patterns. Fast, consistent, cheap per call. Same weakness as rules though. Outside the training data, it gives you nothing useful. Generative, an LLM reads what the customer actually wrote and drafts a response. This is where handles anything starts costing real money per call, and where it can confidently write a refund policy that doesn't exist. Fluent, wrong, no visible seam. Agentic, the model loops. Retrieves the order, applies policy, issues the refund, sends confirmation, checks its own work, does it again. This is the one that covers the messy long tail the other 3 can't touch. It's also, per the article, the most expensive of the 4 by a wide margin. Your example, a specific renewal conversation where a vendor pitched agentic scoring or routing and you found out it was 3 or 4 conditional rules chained together. Cut this if you don't have a concrete one. The point isn't that agentic is bad. It's that most tasks vendors are pitching it for don't need the loop. They need the table. Here's the audit, and it takes an afternoon, not a consultant. For every AI feature on your renewal, ask one question: does this task actually require handling inputs nobody anticipated, or does it fall into a finite, describable set of cases? If it's finite, describable cases, rules or a predictive score already solved it, and probably already exists somewhere in your stack. Lead scoring, churn probability, propensity models. The article is explicit that these are typically already sitting in your marketing automation platform. You may already own the mechanism you're being upsold to replace. If it genuinely needs open-ended interpretation of messy input, that's where generative earns its cost. And if it needs multi-step retrieval, tool use, and self-correction across a genuinely unpredictable path, that's the agentic case, and you should expect to pay agentic prices for it, eyes open. Your example, the workflow you opened up during a renewal review that turned out to be simpler than the pitch, or one where it genuinely was doing multi-step retrieval and the price was defensible. Either direction is useful. Cut if you don't have one. The cost mechanics matter here too, because they explain why the number keeps climbing even as raw token prices fall. Per token prices have dropped sharply since 2023. Enterprise AI spend has still gone up over the same window, because tasks have gotten more complex, not cheaper. The article's explanation: in an agentic loop, every step resends the accumulated context. 20 steps into a job, you've paid for the original request. 20 times over. That's not a pricing quirk. That's the architecture. It's built into how the loop plans, calls, checks, and repeats. So when a vendor says the new agentic tier is more efficient, ask them to show you the step count on a representative task, not the per token rate. The per token rate is the number that's falling. The step count is the number that's climbing your invoice. Before your next renewal call, pull up the workflow builder for every AI line item on the quote. Classify each one: rule, predictive, generative, or agentic. For anything they've called agentic, ask what happens without the loop, using rules or a predictive score instead. If the answer is or nothing changes, you're being asked to pay agentic prices for rule-based coverage. If the answer is we'd miss the messy long tail, that's a real justification. Get it in writing, and compare it against what EY found. The same task can cost 30 times more once you wrap it in a loop. Don't buy the forklift to move the coffee cup, and don't let your CSM tell you the coffee cup needed one.